Ideas Inspire Information Podcast powered by Lok Enterprise. Here's your host, Braxton Holley.
Welcome to another episode of Ideas Inspire Information. I'm your host, Braxton Holley, and we're here on a Wednesday with Mya Billingsley. That means we are talking real world wealth. Yes, we are. So, Mya, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we're talking about networking, huh?
Yeah, we're going to talk about networking hacks today.
Networking hacks. Before we get into that, let's cover a couple of things. Everyone go out and follow 24/7 Watches. That's the sponsor of Real World Wealth here on Ideas Inspire Information. Mya Billingsley is the owner. Follow her, and she'll give you her Instagram name because I don't think I say it right. And follow Ideas Inspire Information, the Lok Enterprise, and Ivy Holly. So we are talking about networking hacks. So what's the first networking hack you have for us today?
The first networking hack is find people online that do what you want. So an easy way to do it is on Instagram. You can pretty much use Instagram like a Google search. So like, for example, if you're into photography, you would just search hashtag photography and a whole bunch of them will come up, right? So you can go through there and look and see who's on there that's good. You admire their work and you can just follow them. In addition to that, you can probably book a call with them, or if they have a course, you can buy it. So that basically gives you access to them for life if the relationship goes right. So that's an easy hack, because if you spend money with somebody, they pretty much feel indebted to you to always help you out with things.
That's good.
Quick access. Yeah.
I think that I've done a few of those hacks when I'm posting on Instagram, hashtags, kind of specifying what the picture is about or what the post is about, quote, whatever it is. More so quote on the Ideas Inspire page, of course. But I have tried a few of those. What do you have next for us?
Yeah. If you know anybody that's like an entrepreneur or, whatever profession you want to step into, you need to ask them how you can add value to them. So they might need help in a certain area and you can volunteer and do it. You don't have to do it for money. And I say that because the advice that they give you while you're working for them is really going to be priceless. You really can't put a price on it. So you can offer to, do simple tasks for them, for a few hours out of the week. And while you're working for them, they'll pretty much just give you the game for free, So that's another hack. And back to what I said on the first one, I said you can find people online who do what you want. So like, when I started the watch business, of course I had to get an LLC, right? So I could have done the LLC myself, but I decided to let somebody else do it. His name is Todd Millionaire. Well, his name is Charles, but he goes by a lot of different names. I forgot his name on IG, but anyway, I let him do it. I let him do my LLC for me. And as a result, he made me a sponsor on his podcast. He didn't charge me anything. And he promotes my brand whenever he sees it, on his timeline. And also, he bought like 3 watches from me during the holiday season. So I can always, hit up Charles for advice. He's come on some of my IG lives on my business page. So just by me paying him, $200 to do my LLC, so you can use that method as well. Just to give an example.
Definitely. I took the hard way and I did the LLC myself, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been. It was just all the legal stuff, getting started with your businesses, and you think it's harder than it is, and it's really not that bad.
It's simple. I like to pay for convenience on a lot of things. So
Makes sense.
I like to save my time.
Hey, that time is one thing we cannot get back.
Right, exactly. Yep.
So we have networking hacks 1, and number 2 we have
marketing.
So we got networking hacks and marketing. So how do you tie your networking hacks and your marketing in together?
It kind of goes hand in hand. What I do for marketing, one of my methods that actually works best for me is purchasing ads on Instagram. I follow a few influencer pages, and I hit them up in the DM and ask them their rates if they don't have them listed already, and I make my ad basically similar to what they already have on their page, so it'll flow and people will like it. You don't want to just make any kind of ad. You want to study the page and see what everybody else is doing, and then you do the same thing. You just add your own spin on it. So I've gained a lot of followers from that. I got some sales from that also, and a lot more traffic to my website. Another way you can market, of course, you can do Facebook ads. Facebook ads can be kind of tricky, so you might want to outsource that, or if you want to take the time to learn it. I would say don't spend any more than $5 a day and on the ads until you really figure out what works. With Facebook ads, you can pretty much recreate ads that you see from bigger brands that's in your niche, because you already know those ads are working. So like if I sell watches, or if I do sell watches, so I will look at Fossil's ads, Movement, big brands like that, and just recreate theirs. And I know my audience will like it, right? So another hack is really just using the appropriate hashtags. And I see a lot of people getting away from hashtags, but they're still effective. So you want to use a mixture of big hashtags and small hashtags. And after you use those hashtags, you want to comment on those people's pages that are within those hashtags. Like, comment on some of the top pages and some of the recent pages, and that'll bring a lot of traffic to your website.
Really? That's interesting, because last few days I was working on, just some bigger accounts and hashtags, and just creating notifications when the bigger accounts kind of post, and then go in and make a relevant comment, of course. At least something of value, because if I just say nice post, then
right,
that's just pointless.
Yeah, I get a lot of interaction when I post on like Gary Vee stuff and Dan Lok, because their content, it's easier to make valuable comments on that because of what they talk about. Like, it's really conversation. Yeah. So I get a lot of success from those two pages.
Small commentary. Is it actually Dan Lok or is it Dan Lok?
I don't know.
Because this is definitely Lok. A lot of people misconceive and say, hey, Lok. Well, it's definitely no C in there. So we got networking, hacks, and we got marketing. What So with these two structures, are these structures that you use, or these structures you planning on using? How can we implement these hacks into our businesses?
Start off doing, like I said, find those big pages where you can market. And like I said, you can use it. I just found them through hashtags. So I'll search for like watches of Instagram. I'll type in like a fashion hashtag and go from there. And if I see a big page, their rates are usually already on there, or I'll send them a DM. And you can, if you're in the fashion industry, you can hit up like certain IG models. They'll post you for 24 hours for a certain rate. You can send them, whatever your product is, and ask them to post. They might charge you for it, they might not. It just depends. You just got to build a relationship.
How effective is that method? Because I get a lot of messages saying, hey, for this price, we'll promote your page.
Oh, the ads. Yeah. So a lot of them are bot pages. I had to send you some that are like legit, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean it works. Like I said, the main thing you want to get is traffic. But I think if you're in the service-based industry, I guess it's different. I don't know. Maybe you can speak more to that because mine is product-based.
Yeah.
So yeah, our process is it's a little different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely different because it's especially
Mhm.
like right now with COVID going on and
Yeah.
I guess a new shutdown coming. Um,
Mhm.
it's more on we can't really move service online, especially
Not
if
for
you're
that. Yeah.
especially if you're a service that has to go and make something or create.
Mhm.
So and actually a lot of people have asked what has changed in as far as the business goes, and I was like,
Mhm.
not much other than canceling of large group
Big events.
functions. Yeah, but
Mhm.
everything that was kind of one or two people or small setting, those have still been going on as normal. I've
Mhm.
actually found myself finding some new work and different work with people I haven't worked with before because they need content creation where they can promote their product, I guess,
Right.
as a product base instead of a service. So it's
Yeah.
hadn't been much different
Yeah.
for.
One thing I saw on Twitter. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying it just hadn't been much different for us.
Yeah. On Twitter, I saw this girl. She said she just started messing around with Photoshop. So she just picked random people's brands and she made a Photoshop of like their logo or their product, and she showed it to them. And I guess that's automatic leads because most people like them. And they were
Definitely.
pretty good actually. So I mean, that's the thing. You can do that, or maybe you can start editing services for photos, like, you kind of get creative with it because that's
Yeah,
something you don't have to leave the house for.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So we have networking hacks and marketing. Put those two together, and then you can kind of grow through building your hashtags and following larger accounts, commenting. And this is predominantly based on Instagram, right?
Yeah, this is Instagram. It's with Facebook. Facebook is all about groups. You got to
Mm-hmm.
get in those different Facebook groups and kind of network through there. With Twitter, you can network really good on Twitter. Twitter is actually my favorite platform for networking because you can talk directly to the person,
Mm-hmm.
and Twitter is all about conversation, so it's just better. Instagram is like, a
Publishing.
highlight reel.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a little different on that. You get to see people's true colors on Twitter, I think. Yeah.
that's good to know. 'Cause
Hmm.
a lot of people were saying Twitter was dying out, but it's just I think
It
it's
depends
just
on what side of Twitter you're on. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I think
Hmm.
it was. It's definitely moving toward a more of an information based
Yeah.
platform versus just everything all around.
Hmm.
Um, what's your take on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is good for service-based industries, especially if you're like a coach, like a life coach, or if you have your any service-based business. I think LinkedIn is good. Um, LinkedIn is like a sophisticated Twitter, I think. It's like Twitter and Facebook wrapped in one, but without all the nonsense on Facebook.
Yeah,
Like people
more
on
professional.
LinkedIn, people know to keep it professional because it's
Yeah,
all these corporations watching you. So LinkedIn is good too. I haven't really done anything on LinkedIn, but yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Hmm.
Well, Maya, you've done it again. You've given us the tricks and the trades. Hopefully people are taking this information and applying it, and
Hmm.
hopefully we get some feedback on if it's working for them, what they could do differently, and we'll definitely
Yeah.
let you know for sure.
Thank
um,
you.
this has been another edition of your Real World Wealth on a Wednesday here on Ideas Inspire Information. We thank you, Maya, again for joining us here on Zoom. Unfortunately, you can't be here with us today, but we will reconvene again.
Yeah, we got a social distance, so this is good.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Lysol spray, gloves, and masks.
Yep.
Let's next time let's shoot an episode with our Lysol gloves and masks.
We should. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hey.
Next time Maya is here in the studio, we will have on Lysol gloves and masks. Thank you for listening. We will see you next Wednesday on Ideas Inspire Information.